Cancer, how you doing? So I'm hearing can't see Lucy. I'm sorry, but I can't. Or Lucille. Does somebody call someone Lucille? Or the name Seal or Simon? Or you could be dealing with a Pisces also. But yeah, very strange. I can't see anything. Like, I mean, is somebody like physically, like visually impaired, or just can't seem to see my way through something? Like, I can't see it till the finish. Like, it's a finish line, some sort of race, or Rachel also, Rachel. Okay, but like I can't seem to see it through to the finish line. Like I don't know if it is a physical race or whatever it is, but it feels like I can't see this through right till the end. So, because I'm also hearing Jim, but obviously not Morrison's, unless you work at a place called Morrison's or you are Morrison. But I'm hearing, listen, Jim, I can't see it right till the end. I can't see it right through. It's like I can see right through you. Some sort of predator, like transparency, like someone's very transparent. You can see straight through them. Like I can see straight through your bullshit and your lies. I'm sorry, but I can, because Gemini, was it Gemini? I don't know. I think it was yesterday that I did that. Someone had something a lot about like lies or something like that, or speaking or something, and there is some sort of like transparency here of like I can see straight through your bullshit and your lies. So there is something around like I can see you and I can see that you're lying. So you obviously must be talking to a person then, right? Knowing that they're lying, because I'm hearing, well, I can see straight through you. So if you can see straight through them, if they're not transparent, then you could be dealing with a 7, which is also a Cancerian, but a 7 of Cups. Like I can see straight through it, like through all the bullshit and all the lies. I can see everything straight through it. So it's kind of like someone looks you up and down and looks straight through you, like it's kind of like you're there, but they just kind of like look straight through you as if to say like. one of those Cancer, like, you know, you're living in a circumstance and you're with them and they're like, they just don't pay any attention to you whatsoever, or you them. I mean, it's either way, you or them, but like it's kind of like you try to avoid this person. You can say anything that you want, but it doesn't matter what you do or what you say. It's kind of like you just look at this person in like disgust, as if to say, man, I've got no idea what to say to you. There is no point in me saying anything because I can see straight through it. So you could have Virgo references here as well. Virgo references. If you are cross-watching or you've got Gemini in your chart also, those messages can also be about Gabby or Gavin also, but like just generally talking, just talking. Okay. Or you're talking to Jen, the name Jen, or Jen talking, calling occupants of interplanetary craft. So there's some sort of transparency of someone just seeing some, like straight through something, straight through, like I can see straight through it, like tracing paper, or the name Tracy, or Trickle, but like I can see straight through it. It's kind of like a glass, if you like glasses. So say you're going for glasses, you might be going to get your eyesight tested or something, and you can see straight through them, right? So, yeah, we're going to leave it at that because I don't want to get too complex. Cancer, because as you're married, apparently that's your marriage. So for a lot of you, you're either engaged or some kind of like weird setup of marriage, or like married out of wedlock, right? But like that's your marriage. Well, that's the circumstance that you're in. So it's like, well, you put yourself in it. So it's kind of like, well, I'll put myself in it. This is the situation I'm in, and I basically just look through everybody as they basically look through me, like Ghost, Elijah. But like they just look straight through me like I'm a ghost. Like it's because it feels like smoke and mirrors, or like every time I look at you, you just look straight through me. Like you're not even paying attention to me. Like I'm trying to do something, but this is where you live. This is where you live. I mean, this is your partnership, because they're saying that this is your marriage. It's like this. Well, this is your life. It's kind of like, well, this is my life. This is who I'm married to. This is who I'm with. They look straight through me, and I look straight through them, and we basically don't take any notice of one another. And it's straight cut as that for a lot of you. Now, like I said, this doesn't have to be a relationship. It can be family, friend, dogfish, catfish, lover, a mother. So you could be dealing with a mother that is a Cancerian, or lover's Gemini. But it's kind of like I look straight through you. Okay, so whatever this is, it's kind of like this coexisting in something where you're just like, man, I can see straight through your bullshit and your lies. I know that you keep trying to talk or say something or coach me around or something like that, but I know it's an absolute load of bullshit. So you've kind of got this debating energy, right? Where it's kind of like, okay, you have a discussion with someone, you talk, they listen, you talk, they listen, but then when you both really don't, it's kind of like what happened in the Gemini reading, where I was saying that you've got a mismatch of energy of something within your astrology that makes you look at the person, not want to listen to them when they're speaking, and that kind of like when you're in a circumstance, you try to avoid them as much as possible, and you're kind of like, man, you'll just make me feel very uncomfortable having to answer your questions, but you kind of stand there like just putting up with it, and then you're kind of like, yeah, right, like a complete and utter lack of interest where someone starts going off at someone, like gabbing at somebody, or Gavin, or get G, but Gail or Gavin or G, anything beginning with G. But you're kind of like, bah, 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 and like that. You're like, bruv, this is like, it's not like, it's kind of like one of those, I'm going to have to explain this feeling, but I'm sure you know what I mean by now, and then I'll get on with the tarot reading. But kind of like that you're at home or you're in a circumstance and you're there, right? But it's kind of like that every time I appear up there, nobody seems to take any notice of me whatsoever. And it's kind of like you're at home and you go in the kitchen and you start talking to somebody and they start like going like that, and you're like, so cool, the paint's nice drying, isn't it? It's like, you know, kind of like, you know, if you answer this question of this person going like that, then you know that if I answer them, that's going to be wrong. If I answer them this way, that's going to be wrong as well. And it's kind of like, even if I agree with them, they'll come up with something else in order to make it into a disagreement. So it feels like that whoever this person is that you have the most amount of conflict with, Cancer, is the person that doesn't never agree, and you both always try to agree to disagree. But the moment that you agree or disagree, you still get into an argument, and that's a placement within your astrology, I feel, for a lot of you. Okay? A difference of opinion, completely, like an opinionated person. So, yeah, you're dealing with the same thing. So you can watch this as a 7 or a Cancerian. But it is for Cancerian. But, yeah, like you have a complete and utter difference of opinion, right? You talk to the person, and someone's very, very, very strongly appearing. So you're dealing with a Taurus for a lot of you. You are very strong opinion. So you're dealing with a Hierophant. So you're dealing with your marriage or relationship possible, or step parents and parents, or grandmothers and mothers. But big, big, big Taurus energy, right? Big Taurus energy. And when you talk to this person, so I'm hearing Scorpio Taurus. So the same as what was in the Gemini reading. So watch the Gemini reading. Okay, listen, I'm not telling you to. I'm just saying you might have a lot of comparisons within that, right? And you basically, whoever it is that's in your life, you talk with them and opposites attract. 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 2 steps back, step back, I don't want to listen, step forward, do the same thing again, 2 steps back, all right, we've done it again, same thing, okay, get up, do the same thing, right, argue again, okay, get up. And it's kind of like that coexisting in just either a marriage, a relationship, or home life, and it is basically just park life, really. It's just, it gets on my nerves that much that I can't get through to you, you can't get through to me, you don't listen, I don't listen, but you keep trying to talk to me, and there's no talking to me because there's no, like, getting around me this time. And so you're dealing with like 8 of Swords, Aquarian, possible Leo energies as well, right? But that can also represent being at home and stuck, right? So the circumstance that I'm, say Pisces, so you're probably dealing with a Piscean as well. You might as well just channel collectively. But like, so you could be really dealing with these people. See, the only reason I would call these out is because they're going to be placements within everybody's chart with the people that you're dealing with, which is pretty much every star sign, right? But don't worry about that, that's just the channeling. When I'm focusing on Cancerian, that'll be the cards. The channeling will be more collective energy of every soul that's indicative around you, right? So you're dealing with like Leo energy, Aquarius energy, you're dealing with possible Virgo, big Taurus energies, possible Scorpio, and Pisces for a lot of you, okay? And it's kind of like these placements, they're just not adding up. So Libra, so you've got someone else that's got Libra in their chart as well here now. Okay, things are not adding up. The equation of it all, yeah. It adds up, but it doesn't. Like Adam and Eve, equality, Gemini, big Gemini energies here, right? And it doesn't work out. It doesn't add up. It's just kind of like, it's more of a confusing energy than like, it's a bit like riddle me this, riddle me that. Talk to me, and it's kind of like more of a chore in order to be able to listen to this person when they're going on about God knows what else in their life, and you're like, man, that's more of a chore listening to that, and it's hard work listening to that because I don't want to listen to it. but then you get into this argument with this person where you know they are so highly tempered, so temperance, Sagittarius, for a lot of you, okay, and they're so highly tempered that when you talk to them, they go from 0 to hero straight away like that, and you're like, shit. See, I knew it. I knew damn well that the moment I opened up and said anything to you, you were basically just going to disagree with me anyway. So what's the point? Right? What's the point? Right? So, yeah. That's kind of your main message for this. Well, I don't think it's just for this week energy. I think that that's something that a lot of you have been going through for a long time, struggling with a relationship with a person, you know, which we all do. But this main character that you deal with, whoever this is exactly like that, right? You talk about blah blah blah. You don't get on. You talk to your friends and so on and so forth about this person. They don't talk. They talk to their friends about the person. You seek counselling or guidance from people and say, "Oh my God, they're giving me such an hard time that I can't bloody cope," and everything else. And then that person goes off. They talk to someone else and say, "You know what? It's them." And you're like, "Oh Jesus Christ, man!" You know, it's not like a complicated energy. It's just two energies that come together that are mismatched. Don't get on, 11 on the clock, okay, so they don't get on, blah blah blah, they go their separate ways in life. This person talks to a person about this person, about everything that's dilemma in there, like D, anything beginning with D, but you know, they go off like completely and utterly on one with a person, like a peer group thing, a friend or a lover or whatever, or a Gemini or a mother, or but you seek this person out and you talk to this person a lot about what goes on here, right? This person here then goes off to people that they know and they talk about this person here. And you've kind of got this energy of like blaming, but not blaming, of like a circumstance that you're in karmically, but you're kind of more like tit-for-tat energy of like, man, this person's really pissing me off. I can't seem to get through to you no matter what I do or what I say, blah, 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 blah. And then this person saying, like, say your boyfriend or girlfriend is saying, or your mother or whatever, is like, oh, so what's happened today then? You're like, oh my God, you know, blah, 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 so on and so forth, so on and so forth. And then here, this person goes back into it. See, because this could be, like I said, it could be a third party trying relationship, but don't add it all up to that if it isn't. But it's kind of like going off to people, telling them about what's going on here, and this person goes back here, gets into more of an argument, doesn't really do anything about it, still stays in the same circumstance, realising that they're never going to get through to this person's never going to get through to that person. This person here goes off and talks a load of shit about this person here, this person goes off and talks a load of shit about this person here. And it's just human nature. It's just two people that just constantly argue, and that's why. And normally when you have an argument, you normally speak to a person about, because they always ask, generally in life, oh, what's going on with your mum? What's going on with your boyfriend? What's going on with your girlfriend? What colour peanuts do you have in your shit? All that kind of shit, right? So you're kind of like, yeah, you know, I must be dealing with a Scorpio, because every time I bend over, their bullet hole hasn't changed, so they're still the same person. So there you go, right? So you've kind of got that stuff. Let's see. So Cancer. So yeah, Nine of Swords. So you've got big Virgo references here. You've got a lot of like sleepless nights. You might be doing something together, though, I am picking up. Like you're doing something that is, I don't know. I mean, if you're stressed and you're worried, you're stressed and you're worried. If not, you're doing something that occupies your host or ghost, or you occupy yourself late at night doing something when you have private time. Because I'm hearing daytime, nighttime, daytime, nighttime. Right, yeah. Which was the ow, Steve, ow, Steve, ow, Steve, ow, Steve, Alison, Stephen, ow, Steve, or Alistair. But again, here, there's something that I do at night that keeps me either one, awake, stressed out to shit, and it might be the person or it might not, or it might be, well, the only time that I ever get any peace or break from this person is at nights, because that's normally when they're gone to bed and that I don't have to worry about anybody else being around the house, because I can seclude myself and just go into my bubble, which is like a Virgo energy, which is sanctuary. So you're either hiding from one, talking with one, either one extremely stressed out about this person because they don't make any sense, or late at night is when you have me time in order to do exactly what it is that I want to do. I don't have to worry about anybody else. Everybody else has gone to bed. You know, if you're living with a person, for instance, right, you're like, okay, they're all gone to bed now. I have chance in order to study, to do whatever it is that I want, to get my books out, to do anything that keeps me occupied, whether it be a computer, PC. Me at the moment, I am playing God of War. But, you know, something else that takes your mind off it, you could be doing that in order to, like, right, I need to get my mind off of this. I need to go back to the books, go back to something that is kind of going to give me, you know, more clarity than anything else, other than thinking about this person that causes me the most amount of stress, right? So, you got the Nine of Swords, Cancer. Sorry, but it's also very early. It's my first reading as well this morning, and normally my first readings are normally not the greatest. But I am hearing The Greatest by, what was his name that sung that? Michael Jordan, was it? Was it Michael? No, who sung that one? You're the greatest. But didn't he get arrested? Didn't he get arrested? Oh, I don't know who that was. But The Greatest. Let's see, Cancer, Sun, Rising, Venus and Jupiter, and North Node. Let's see, Sun, Rising, Venus and Jupiter, Cancer, what's going on with them? Sorry, I didn't tell you, from the 14th. From the 14th, Cancer. It's also very cold, man. My hands are freezing this morning. Seven of Cups, there you go. So I told you I felt it. It's kind of more of this energy of just a karmic cloak, smoke and mirrors. It's kind of, there's no getting through to you. It doesn't matter what option I choose in life. You still are always there. You're still there. You're still doing the same thing. You've got a Scorpio energy here, right? So it's like, well, you're still doing the same thing. It's like, it doesn't matter what option you pick or what option or which way I go, whether I go left or right. You're still on my back constantly. Always like making me feel stressed out. A lot of you are going through some sort of an awakening here, right? But it can be a lot of study, like esoteric study, all that kind of thing. But like a common interest. But yeah. So I just had, well, I choose not to. I choose not to, right? It's kind of like this, I choose not to make a decision. That is, funnily enough, well, what Spirit's saying, that is also a decision. Is choosing not to make a decision. Which is kind of like, well, I'll just see how it goes. Just let the chips fall as they may, and I'll just see how it goes. I'll choose when I want to say something, and I'll choose when I don't want to say something. And I'll choose when I want to avoid the person, and I'll choose not. Because it's kind of more like this learning to coexist in a Seven of Cups energy, right? Which is more of like, I know damn well that you're going to just trick me and fool me into doing this again. So it's more of like this, I get that stressed out and worried about this person, like fooling me and tricking me, that it's more obvious. So that when you talk with them, you're kind of like, I just know exactly what you're doing. I can see straight through all this smoke and mirrors bullshit, Wayne's World crap, right? So it's kind of like that. It's going to be more fight than what it is in order to talk with the person, than what it is more just sitting in that. Because this is the rabbit hole, right? This is the rabbit hole. This is where I don't really have a choice in life, and I don't really have an option. Even though I might say to myself, Steve, I've got choices and I've got options and I can do what I want and I'll hate the person. Blah. Yeah, that's not really a choice. That's blame, shouting and screaming, right? Here is more to do with where, like, I know that I have options and choices in my life, but at the moment I am compromised by making them, right? So if you're at home or wherever it is that you are with this person, when they cause you the most amount of stress, what you basically do is you go into isolation here, right? And it's not always necessarily a bad thing. It just means that I don't have a choice or option in order to do, because I'm compromised with the energy that faces me, which is here. So it leads you more into, not into temptation, where it's more like, okay, I would rather just sit in my head thinking about other things than this person. Now, if you're here, or the other person is, constantly thinking about this person, that's why there's no communication there. Is because it's more like, I know that if I decide to talk to this person, I know that they're not going to listen. I know that if they decide to talk to me, that then I have to make the decision to talk to them. But then it's more of like this, well, let's just leave it as it is, not say anything about this whatsoever, and not say anything about it, because what will be, right? So, yeah, you've kind of got that. Wow, so there's B also. But D or Dan or Stan or D or B. D or B, DB, DBD. The DVD, govd, but DBD, or Denver, or Colorado or something like that, but Denver, Colorado, is it? I don't know, the old Americans. But yeah, Denver or something like that, or Dennis. I'm also hearing Dennis. Dennis the Menace, Menace to Society, Dennis the Menace, Beano, so B again, Beano. Where's Wally? Where's your Wally? I got a rubber in my wallet. Someone's saving for a rainy day. That's also what I'm hearing. I'm waiting for that dream girl to come my way. I'm just sitting here in myth, knowing that one day my life will just change without me doing anything about it. It can be that. Like, you're like, well, you know, one day this may change, but at the moment, I'm just going to stay as exactly as I am, because I may not have the strength in order to do it. I may not be financially secure. There isn't any money here for a lot of you. If it is to do with finances, it could be, you know what, I don't have work at the moment. I don't have a job at the moment. I don't have anywhere to go other than where I am, so I don't have a choice in order to move. It might be financial. It might just be because of the coronavirus still. It might be because you are presently in a relationship with this person, if you are, and you're kind of like, well, at the moment, bruv, I'm in a 2 and 8. I have to stay here. Like, this is where I am. I've got no choice in order to move. I don't have a job or any money, right? So, you know, I can't exactly do anything other than basically just eat, sleep, rave, repeat. Just get up, do the same shit over and over again, right? So if you are compromised in a relationship presently here, that's because it feels like that I don't have an option, right? I don't have an option. Because everybody will believe in free will and say, well, you have free will. You've got an option if you want it. Well, there you go. What are your options? Have you ever took any of those options? Or have you just sat there and thinking, well, you know what, I've got options in my life. Can I do that? No. Circumstantial energy. Excuse me, but I'm stopping smoking. And I also have to slow down speaking. Circumstances, a victim of my own circumstances is that I do have options in life, and of course there are. But does anything in my life stop me from doing that? Like finances, career, movement, physically buying a house, getting a job, moving, telling the person that you don't want to live with them anymore, telling the person that you want to leave, right? Everything in your life does have an option, but when you really look at that and think, well, to be honest, do I have an option? Am I financially secure? Am I mentally secure? Do I really want to move, you know? Or am I more just in that, like, well, possibilities are there, but, you know, when it really comes down to me thinking, well, yeah, there's an option, bam, there it is, option one, going to take that, straight up, no chasing, no messing about, I'm going to leave. Or I'm going to decide not to ever talk to you ever again, you know, because if there's such a dilemma that I am kind of picking up here for a lot of you, you have to finally decide if this is to do with like siblings and parents and brothers and sisters. You have to actually finally make that choice that you are never going to have a part, like play a part in this role with this person ever again. If they've caused you a lot of stress, one of those decisions that you have to make, which is the most important one, is that, you know, I'm never going to be speaking to this person again, right? So normally then when you look at that and think, well, if they're family, then really I've just got to kind of like live with that, right? Because I can guarantee you, and it could be Gary, the name Gary, but I can guarantee you that family karma is much more difficult than relationship karma, and I bet my bottom dollar on that. When it comes to family and it comes to difficulties around the house and the home, and people physically living outside of a reading, physically looking at human beings when they're in situations of family that involves children or just basically mothers and fathers, it's much more difficult in order for that to happen than what it is just a love interest, because you can just kind of like, man, all you are is just a love interest. That's it, right? So I have a choice in order to say no, you know, I'm out, I'm done, right? If it's karmic cloak illusion of fucking metaphysical, spiritual awakening, twin flame, intergalactic 7D, 98D, then you'll just choose to sit in a rabbit hole for God knows how long, dwelling over the energy of this person, right? Because you will, because it's a karmic awakening, right? When you look at karma and the complexities of it, really, karma really isn't about the people that you get on really well with. That's just more of a dilemma of a slight argument that you have now and again, but that's really not karmic. Not really. But the people that you have the most amount of stress with, and the people that cause you the most amount of conflict in life, there's your karma right there, right? So it just comes back around again and saying, well, You know, you either just learn and just understand that, you know, you have an option to stay there if you want to, or you have a choice to actually not ever speak with this person again, right? Or communicate at a distance. Because you've got a lot of like karmic, like cloak energy, like, well, because I can't tell if a lot of you, because some of you I am picking up, like, you're physically with this person, like you are physically with them. But this can also be like, I can't live without the person, like I can't live with or without you, you know, which is a lot to do with money and finances and life. I can't live with you, and I don't like living with you, but I also can't live without you either. I can't live without what it is that I get, which is like a house, you know, a roof over my head. Don't look at that being, don't look at that as being like arrogant or ignorant or anything like that. When it comes to those kind of things, human beings will soon start to think, you know what, I am quite lucky for what I have, but when it comes to human nature and humans, you don't have to get on with these people just because of the things that are there of pleasure and joy of offers, right? Because that can keep you stuck forever, right? So you can be like, you know what, where I'm living and what I have, I should be grateful for what I have, but I really ain't grateful for the arseholes that are around in my life of people, right? People. So it's kind of like this feeling is what I'm getting for you, Cancer. Cancer, something like Venus and Jupiter. So you do have a new start and a new beginning here. You've got a lot of like, I mean, I don't like the word manifesting, you know, because I believe that everybody is stopped on their path of manifesting success because you'll get interrupted by life. Your phone will go off, someone will knock at the door, the dog will bark, right? You don't have longer than like your whole life to sit there omming and ahhing over manifesting everything. Well, if you're going to be like in a meditative state for God knows how long, then you ain't going to want the things that appear up into your energy. Because law of attraction is a load of bollocks. So I'm also hearing Laura, right, as well. But I am also hearing, though, in a vegetative state, and that was in a Gemini reading, or was it? Because I said, oh, I really don't know how to say this, because it was someone that was in a coma, and it was like, or from Rome, or chroma, but like someone that could have been knocked unconscious, or Sagittarius, no, Aries, sorry, Aries. And it was something like knocked unconscious or Aries. So, this could be the Virgo. So this could be a child, or like I said, anybody within 9 here that could be going through this individually here. But because there's a lot of like, hold on a minute, I'm in manifesting mode, I'm manifesting the same thing. Because if you're manifesting from this, which is your leading card, you're really not getting very far with it, to be honest. If you're really like, there's things in your life of options of like, okay, I might be buying a new car, for instance, or I might be doing something with my life that is more of an interest than what it is sitting here worrying, right? So I am trying to manifest a relationship, but I don't think so. You can't really manifest relationships, guys, no matter what people tell you online. You can't manifest a relationship, right? Things are always look on the bright side of life. Sorry, let me see. Cancer. It's not really telling me a great deal. Cancer, if I'm honest. Yeah, 5 of Wands. You see, I told you, life interrupts the manifesting, right? Because I don't have time. I always have to like hide from the people that I don't want to talk to. So I have to go out the room, go in there, bang, there you go. I've stopped. I started thinking about something I wanted to do, and it was stopped because of a circumstance in my life, the person, the people that argue with me, the karmic people that argue with me, that go against what I believe. If I believe something, they believe in the opposite, right? If I talk, we argue straight away, right? So for a lot of you, there might be desires and things that you need doing in life, like, well, I need some privacy, man. I need some privacy time, you know, here. But somebody doesn't feel as if they are, like, able to have private time. Like, they're just like, man, I'm so glad there is nobody around me whatsoever, so I can just sit back and do nothing. If you are in that state, then think yourself lucky, honestly, Because some people, if you look at other people, they're like, man, I don't get a minute to sit down and get rid of these kids and get rid of all of this crap in these people in this house and blah, blah, blah. I don't have 5 minutes to myself. Compared to the people like, yeah, but I want a relationship. I want all of those kind of things. You lot need to think yourself lucky for all what you've got. Because I would love a relationship. This is a situation of a person that's probably in that already, right? So, you know, life isn't about like everything is great all the time, with or without relationships. What else could this be for you? Because it seems to be a lot of karmic, metaphysical, kind of like, I don't know, like you're not with a person, right? And you've just found out that they're a karmic soulmate, right? That they're with somebody else, right? And you're like, yeah, that bitch. I'm not going to go into that. Yeah, this, to be honest, Cancer, is probably a crap reading. I do apologise. 30 on the clock. It's more metaphysical. More metaphysical for a lot of you. It's not a relationship. Whichever way you look at this, for a lot of you, it's not a relationship with this person. Now, if that's love, it is. If it's a parent or a sibling or a person, that's not love. It's more confusion and fight than anything else. Whatever you look at it as, for your reading here, there's conflict of a person that always leads you into temptation of talking again, and the moment you do, you go straight back into this energy here. You go straight back into the cauldron, basically. You go straight back to Buzz Aldrin. You go straight to the moon. You go straight to the mother, is what I'm hearing. I'm going to run straight back to my mother and tell her exactly what you've said, or I just always run back to my mother all the time. Or there's a problem here that someone talks about their mother because they're like, it's always my mother. It's always my mother. It's my mother that's in their way or in my way. Because I'm hearing it's in, she or he is in their way, but then I'm also hearing, yeah, they're in my way. So there's going to be different people there that are relate with it differently. But yeah, you always seem to be in my way. So that's your reading so far, Cancer. Sorry for such a rubbish reading, guys. It is also very early, but I can't really see much through it because there's a lot of smoke and mirrors here. There's a lot of confusion, to be honest. But we will find out more if you are interested. It's where I go to the full access bundle over on Patreon. If you want to join, if you are, thank you so much. But if you want to join, that's where you've got a plethora of backlog of readings. And this month, and more than likely next month, I am not going to do the bi-weekly stuff where you just see it over there, because then I have to have something else that comes out over out here. So I'd rather keep the energy fresh and just churn out the weekly readings and the channel stuff and just do that for a little bit. Because it actually kind of relaxes me a lot more, stops me stressing out, thinking, man, I've got to get 12 readings done straight away. And, oh man, I can get like, ugh. So I'd rather do this, just do a few readings and throw them out. So it starts from today, which is the 14th, okay, and it's ongoing for a little while. It's basically the story, but we're going to do a load of cards for you, clarify them to see what they're doing, and then we're going to look into the thoughts and the feelings from your other person. So from your partner, from the metaphysical, whichever way it is, what are the thoughts and feelings about the whole situation from your other person, right? Whatever it is that I see is pretty much whatever it is that I give you, okay? But you can only find it on the full access bundle, and that is where you'll have loads of weeklies and monthlies and yearly and blah, 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 okay? And you can find the link below. Thanks very much, Cancer, and I'll see you soon.